Complex numbers intermediate public examination. So, in complex numbers, we will get in intermediate public examination 2 marks questions are 2 and 4 marks questions are 1. So, totally 8 marks will cover in intermediate public examination. Dear students, now we go for complex numbers. Before going to complex numbers, we will discuss about the number system. So, in number system, this number system, okay, we go for in number system. Firstly, we discuss about the counting numbers. Counting numbers, counting numbers. Counting numbers are natural numbers. Counting numbers are like this: 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. These counting numbers are called also natural numbers. Natural numbers. These natural numbers are denoted by n. N is equal to set of 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 and so on. These are the natural numbers. And natural numbers, after that, invented zero by famous mathematician in India, Aryabhat invented zero. Then after that, whole numbers are zero and natural numbers. These are called whole numbers. So n is subset of whole numbers. N is subset of whole numbers. Whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. After that, negative numbers. Negative numbers are -1 and so on. Negative numbers are -1, -2, -3 and so on. These negative numbers and whole numbers are integers. So, integers are denoted by Z or I is equal to this one 0 plus or minus 1 plus or minus 2 and so on. So, we written as natural numbers is subset as whole number subset this integers. Okay, now this one integers. Next one fractions. Fractions are in the form of P by Q. Like this 7 by 2, 8 by 2 or 5 by 2, 11 by 2 and so on. Here integers and fractions are called rational numbers. So this rational numbers is represented by Q. These rational numbers are represented by Q. Here Q, n is subset, whole number subset, Z subset, Q, and also introduced as irrational numbers. Irrational numbers are like this: √2, √3, 5, so on. Okay, these are the irrational numbers. These rational numbers Q. Irrational numbers Q dash represented by Q dash is R. R means real numbers. Real numbers. So once you see, all of you, number system, counting numbers are like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. These are natural numbers. N represented by N, 1, 2, 3, and so on. After invented 0 by the great mathematician, Indian mathematician Aryabhat, whole numbers are introduced. Whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. So n subset whole number set, the negative numbers like this: -1, -2, -3, and so on. So integers are Z or I introduced. Integers are Z or I. So 0 plus or minus 1 plus or minus 2 and so on. So n subset W subset Z. Fractions are P by Q form. So rational numbers are introduced as rational numbers denoted by Q. So n subset W subset Z subset Q. Irrational numbers root 2, root 3, pi, so on. Rational numbers Q. Irrational numbers Q dash is R. So we say that real numbers means what? Rational numbers and irrational numbers are real numbers. Okay, continue. We know the real numbers. Real numbers means what? Real numbers means rational numbers and irrational numbers. Rational numbers are represented by Q. Irrational numbers are represented by Q dash. Okay, all of you. These are the real numbers. Okay, here one more thing. One equation like this: x square minus 1 equal to 0. X square minus 1 equal to 0. Then what we will get from this quadratic equation? X square minus 1 equal to 0 is a quadratic equation. X square minus 1 equal to 0. X square equal to 1. So x is equal to, we will get the plus or minus 1. But one more quadratic equation like this: x square plus 1 equal to 0. Then we will get the x square is equal to minus 1. From this we will get x is equal to plus or minus root over minus 1. Here what is x is equal to root minus 1. Root minus 1 is represented by iota. Iota is introduced by great mathematician Euler. Great mathematician Euler is introduced this by iota. Introduced iota by Euler, great mathematician Euler. This I is iota. So x is equal to root minus 1 is equal to iota. This as imaginary number. Okay, all of you. So these are the imaginary numbers. Okay, imaginary and this one real numbers. So we say these real numbers and imaginary numbers. These two are as complex numbers. Okay, the real numbers and imaginary numbers are called complex numbers. So we say this imaginary number and real numbers. So, what is complex numbers? We conclude that real numbers and imaginary numbers, imaginary numbers connected with some mathematical operation. So, like this, a plus ib, a minus ib. Okay, where a comma b belongs to R. That means complex number is represented by C is equal to a plus ib, where a comma b belongs to R. Then this type of numbers are called complex numbers. That means complex numbers means real numbers and imaginary numbers. Example, you see all of you, 2 plus 3i, 4 plus I, 0 plus 2 and 2i, 0 plus 2i, 2 plus 0i. These are the examples for complex numbers. So, you see all of you, real numbers. Real numbers means what? Rational numbers, Q. Irrational numbers are Q dash, Q dash. These are the real numbers. Then after the great mathematician Euler introduced iota. This is iota. So root minus 1 is equal to iota. This is the imaginary number. So this is the imaginary real numbers and imaginary numbers. These two are called complex numbers. So complex numbers are real numbers and imaginary numbers connected with some mathematical operation. So this C is equal to this complex numbers denoted by C. C is equal to A plus IB. So A comma B belongs to R. Examples, 2 plus 3i, 4 plus I, like this. These are the complex numbers. So complex numbers means what? Real numbers and imaginary numbers. These are the complex numbers. Okay, all of you. That's all.